Hi everybody. It's been a while. Today we are doing a very exciting January activity, and that is going through my seeds. I keep my seeds in these photo boxes from Michael's. You can get them on Amazon. You've probably seen them before if you watch a lot of gardeners. They're great for storing seeds because they perfectly fit packets inside. I just use tape to label them. But I need to go through I have two boxes here. I kind of have them sorted in like spring seeds and fall seeds, or frost hardy seeds, but I haven't really touched them since I planted the fall garden, and I know the summer box is a bit of a mess. In fact, I am now just remembering that I need to go get a tub out of my office closet that has seeds in it, because the last time I planted stuff, I did it in a hurry. I didn't have a lot of time, and so I didn't have time to put everything back where it belonged. So I need to go fish that out. But we need to look through here as well. I need to take stock of what I have, what I need to get. There are some things that are going to get put in a separate one because they're going on hiatus. They're not going to get grown for a while here. And that's mostly my tomatoes. Because if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I have had some issues with disease in my soil. It really only affects my tomatoes. I can get disease resistant hybrids to grow, which I did last year, and it worked great. So a lot of these heirloom seeds that I have are still good. I'm a big fan of holding on to seeds, even if it's not the year that they were packaged for. So I'll keep them. I'll grow them eventually when we get to our new property in the future. But for now, it's just not gonna happen here, which is okay. I'm excited to try some new varieties. I have my seed catalogs for the year all in here as well, so I can go through those. I have a notebook here so I can keep notes. But yeah, it's time to start thinking about what I want to grow and where I want to grow it in the garden this year, what I need to get. So yeah, I need to go get those other seeds out of my closet now. I'll be back. Tub of seeds. This is mostly like radishes, things like that I did a second sowing of. So I might actually keep a lot of these out because we're having a very weird, I think all of the United States is having a very weird winter. And like daffodils are already coming out of the ground. I looked in my backyard today and I saw the daffodils popping up, and I was like, it's a little early for that. But we've only really had below freezing a handful of days. We got really cold for a week, that week before Christmas, that I think kind of everybody had very weird weather. But other than that, we haven't been very cold. So while everything in the garden currently is very, very dead because of that like -15 snap, which is very unusual for Tennessee, everything out there is dead, but I might plant some frost hardy things still and see how they do through the spring, especially in the green stalks. I think I'm going to do that. So let's get to sorting through these and seeing what I have. Last year was such a blur. I almost don't even remember what I grew what varieties I grew last year. I did not keep very good track of anything. It was just such a fast and whirlwind year. So maybe I'll remember when I look at the seed packets. Who knows? But let's do this. So this morning I did a very, very rough sketch of what I'm thinking this year, what I want to grow, how much of things I want to grow. And there are some definite changes happening. Maybe not changes. I'm definitely growing tromboncino squash again, without a doubt. It did so well for me last year. I had no issues with vine borer. It was prolific. it tasted great, even when it got a little too big and out of hand. So I will definitely be growing that again. To be determined on if I'm going to grow any other form of summer squash, because I never get any harvest. They just completely get destroyed. I don't know that I want to deal with all of the things that people do to grow them with, you know, taping the stems and doing this, that, and the other thing. Because it's just very time intensive, and the tromboncino squash did great for me. So I might see if there's some like vine borer resistant varieties, if that's a thing, and try those out. I might try growing them in an actual bed. I've always had them either in the house bed, which now is just wildflowers, or in grow bags. And so from what I've read, that can be a problem if you grow them in the same spot. Basically, once the vine borers are in the soil, they're in the soil, and it's a lost cause. So I don't know what I'm going to put in the grow bags yet this year, but I will be growing the tromboncino squash again. I want to try some small melons again. Big melons and things like pumpkins or winter squash are kind of off of my radar until we get to a bigger property. I just don't have the space for the yield that I get. I grew pumpkins a couple years ago and I got like 2, and they were small. So it's just not worth it for me in my current property. So that's that. I'm going to be growing all disease-resistant hybrid tomatoes. Like I said, no heirlooms. I want a good harvest, and I don't want to battle disease just for the sake of growing an heirloom tomato. There is more time to be had to grow heirlooms later on. So, but I do want to grow, we have a lot of tomato sauce and like tomato products still in the basement from canning last summer. So I'm thinking of growing kind of more like big beefsteak tomatoes, fresh eating tomatoes, than focusing on fully paste tomatoes and things like that for canning, because I don't think I'm gonna need a whole lot of tomato canning. In fact, I might try and do some like barbecue sauces or ketchup and things like that, because we're, like I said, we're pretty set on tomato sauce. We might need some for salsa. Take that back. There will be tomatoes. But that's my plan for tomatoes. I ordered this morning onion sets. I've never grown onions before. I really want to try. I really want to do it. It's one of the few things that we eat regularly that I have not tried growing. So I ordered those this morning. Very excited about that. My garlic's already in the ground, if you watched that video. I'm undecided about sweet potatoes yet. I might try sweet potatoes in the grow bags, see if that does well there. We'll just kind of see what I go through. I'm considering getting some seeds for things like celery or stuff that I haven't grown in that realm yet. But yeah, we'll see what I come up with. We'll see what I find when I get in here. Oh, the other thing that I think I'm going to try again this year is corn. I grew it my first year gardening in these beds. It did well. I just didn't plant enough of it, so it didn't pollinate very well. And I have acquired some different varieties of corn since then. Last year I didn't grow it because I didn't have the space to give it. But I don't think I'm going to try potatoes this year. I think I'm going to give myself a break from the potato heartbreak and maybe make that space up with some corn. So let's get going through these seeds. Okay, already there's 2 things that I forgot I had seeds for that might be fun to try. Red Malabar spinach is one. I've heard really good things about this. The only thing I'm worried about with growing this is that my trellises are not metal, and so it might be a nightmare to get this off, but it might be worth trying. And then amaranth, which might just be pretty to grow because it's pretty. Though it would be fun to learn to cook amaranth. So we'll see. This is one of my I don't know what to do seeds. I think I have to cover my face for it to focus. So Kentucky Wonder pole beans. I know people really love this variety. I know people have had a lot of good success with it, including my good friend Rowan. They did not do well for me last year. The plants grew really well, but I just didn't get that much of a harvest from them compared to the jade beans that I planted. Sorry, I think my cat is causing chaos. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for beans. I liked the jade beans last year. I also grew Iroquois skunk beans. I liked those. So maybe I'll try the Kentucky Wonder again and see if they do better, or maybe I'll find a different bean to grow. If you have a green bean that you love that produces really well, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it. Especially if there's one that like they stay tender longer, they don't get tough quite as fast. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Corn. This is Wapsie Valley corn, and Wapsie Valley is a region in Iowa that we would visit a lot when I was a kid. It's near where I grew up. I believe this is considered a popping corn. It's not a fresh eating corn, but I might grow that anyways, just because. But I have lots of varieties of just sweet corn in here that I think we're gonna give corn a try again. Cucumbers. This one is going in my maybe I'll try again another day pile, and that is the lemon cucumber. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know if maybe I never harvested them small enough, but all of the ones that I harvested, no matter what size they were, once they got kind of to what looked like a decent size and they were yellowing, they were all so tough. It says in here, harvest at 1.5 for pickling, 2 inches for salads. I did that. I mean, some of them definitely got away from me because they were hard to see and they were not on a very easily accessible trellis. So some got pretty big, but all of them were so tough that I did not like them, and I will not be giving them another try until I have fun space for them. I have a bunch of saved seeds in here from last year. Silver slicer. I know this one has been getting a lot of hype lately. I'm on the train, all aboard. Yeah, it's great. Pickles well, it fresh eats well. It did not get tough. It did not get bitter. I used it for relish. That one will always grow in my garden. Last year I did the soy long. Can you focus? There we go. These were amazing. The flavor was great. They were so prolific, I could not keep up with them. If you can only grow one cucumber and you want to eat it fresh, this is your cucumber. It was amazing. Do not try to pickle it. You will regret every second of it. But if you're eating fresh or just doing like a quick pickle, I highly recommend this one. Even when it got big, it was great. Oh, look. Why do I have 2 packets of lemon cucumber? This is what I do. This is why I'm doing this, because now I'll know what I have instead of going and ordering seeds and being like, oh, that looks interesting, and I already have a packet of it and I don't even like it. If you love lemon cucumbers and you want those seeds, message me. You can have them. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do this year for cucumbers is First, I'm not seeing a packet of Biet Alpha cucumbers, which means I need to get more of those because I love those. They are very similar to like the little cucumbers that you get in the grocery store in the plastic bag. They're great. I love them. I've grown them before. I did not grow them last year. I regretted it. I will be growing silver slicers again. And then I think I need to get a hybrid like pickling cucumber. I have grown some of the heirloom pickling cucumbers. I have seeds in here for them, but they just did not grow as well as I had hoped. We get a lot of rain here, and we'll get like just downpours of rain for 2 days and then dry for 8, and it's cute. Our weather can be weird here in Tennessee, and I think those heirloom cucumbers don't like it because they get really weird shaped. It's just a thing. So I want to try growing a hybrid variety of pickling cucumber and see if I have more success with more consistency and shape and things like that for canning pickle. So I definitely need cucumbers, which I'm glad I've looked because I didn't think I needed any cucumber seeds. Okay, hybrid pickling. I hope you all are enjoying my stream of consciousness right now. Okay, herbs and flowers here are overflowing and going nuts. I'm gonna skip them for now because that can always come later. Melons. Okay. I did grow the Wilson Sweet, was it 2 years ago? It was good, but again, one of those, like, it took over an entire bed and I got 1 watermelon. So, I think just until I have more space, the big cucumbers are, or the big cucumbers, whew, the big melons are out. So I've got some honeydew seeds I saved. So, but then I have some small ones. So this is Zacata sweet melon. I believe that's a small melon. And then I have this mango one, which I might try. Looks like it has a lot of seeds, but curious. And then the Kajori melon, ooh, which I feel like most people are aware of, but it is good. I have grown it. I did like it. I might look for like a smaller, just like classic red melon. If they have one, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Okra, I think I'm definitely gonna need seeds for. Oh, maybe not. There's more seeds. I've got some seeds here that I saved, so they might grow a fun little hybrid of okra. Got some Clemson Spineless classic okra, so that's good. Beck's big, oh, this is supposedly, it's called a snapping okra. Supposedly it like harvests, like it snaps off the plant, so you don't have to have shears to harvest it. I feel like I tried this a couple of years ago and I couldn't get it to germinate, but I also was putting it in the grow bags, so I think that was part of my problem. I've got a few seeds of heavy hitter left. Okay, I think they're Bowling Red, Hill Country. Okay, I think we're good on okra. Definitely gonna make sure I get an okra harvest this year because last year I did not. We got a couple, but like never enough for a meal. And not having okra makes for a very sad angel. So we definitely need to get okra done. We're doing that differently than last year. If you watched my garlic video, you saw my explanation to this. But last year I grew all of my garlic in one plot in a bed and then sowed okra after I harvested that, and it did not go well because the little seedlings were getting shaded out and all that jazz. So this year, okra, or the garlic, is on the perimeter of all 4 of my beds, and then we'll have okra going in right at the beginning of the season. All right, let's see what I got in here for peppers. I definitely need, if you have a sweet pepper, like a green to red or orange yellow, just like a sweet pepper that you love growing and you've had really good success with, please let me know. I haven't focused a lot on growing sweet peppers because I wanted to give more space to hot peppers or just fun, like paprika and things like that. But this year I'm going to grow more peppers, and so let me know if you have a variety that you love and that has done very well for you, and I will check it out. So we've got some paprika. Paprika is probably my most used seasoning in the kitchen behind garlic powder. I love paprika, so I really want to grow a bunch this year and dehydrate it down into a pepper. Okay. Well, I've got California Wonder seeds. I forgot I must have gotten those last year. Okay. If you like skinny long peppers, I really recommend this Jimmy Nardello. I grew them a couple years ago. Super prolific, very good. But when you need a lot of peppers for a recipe, not the most fun pepper to use to swap for like a bell pepper, because it's just like they're skinny and long, so they're a little bit more of a pain to clean the seeds out of stuff, but they are very good. Okay, I have more peppers than I thought, so that's good. I don't remember what's in here. Oh yeah, this is when 3 or 4 years ago now, you like could not find jalapeno seeds anywhere. So a lovely person that I knew, I don't really know them, we were in a Facebook group together, but they sent me some, so appreciate that. Okay, I actually think I'm good on sweet peppers, other than like a bell pepper. I need a good bell pepper. Okay. Those are my hot peppers, poblanos, jalapenos. I actually think I want to look for hybrid jalapeno. I've been growing the last few years the Craig's Grande. They're good. I don't know. They're kind of inconsistent on how they grow. So, Serranos. Okay. So we'll just like that. I have a thing with some pumpkins in here. Like I said, I'm not focusing on growing those things right now. Summer squash. Let me remind myself what's in here. Yeah. Oh, the desi squash I might try. I think I've talked about this in a couple videos before. It is really good. It's firmer than like a zucchini, a classic zucchini is, so it holds up really well to getting like stir fried or roasted or things like that before it starts to get mushy. And it does have somewhat of a climbing habit, so I may try and grow this on one of the trellises and see how it does out of a grow bag. This was the one when I had vine borer issues with the other ones. This one did okay. I don't know if that was just luck or what. My beloved tromboncino, in case you need to see the spell. Is that focusing? This changed the game for me. I cannot recommend it enough. If you are having trouble growing summer squash, try this. I trellised it. I would recommend that. It will go crazy. It will take over a lot of space because it is quite a big squash if you let it grow out. I found once they were about 18 inches to 2 feet long. That was like a good size before they started to really get too big. But I had a couple get away from me and I just let them go to see how big they were get. And like the one that I harvested, because I tried to save seeds out of it, was like almost like 4 feet long. It was wild, but it's so good. So if you are like me and you're having trouble with vine borers, I highly recommend trying this. I hope you have the same success that I did. Yeah, these are all eggplant. Glad I saw this. Eggplant is one of those vegetables I forget about. It's not something I ate a lot of growing up as a kid. Occasionally we would get it and we would grill it and then sprinkle Parmesan cheese on top afterwards, and I remember really liking it. I have made like eggplant parm and stuff before, but I really want to venture into more eggplant recipes and try growing it. So if you have an eggplant dish that you love or a variety that you love, let me know. I need to put that on my list. Okay. Then we have the winter squash. The only thing in here that I might consider growing is the delicata squash, which has become very popular in the last few years, because you can eat the rind. Like, you don't have to peel it, you can eat all of it, and it is really tasty. I tried growing it a couple of years ago. I got like 2 before the vine borers got to it, but I might try putting it on a trellis this year if I have maybe one of the arches. And yeah, last year I grew loofah. It worked well for me. I still have the dried loofah in the basement that I haven't done anything with yet, so I don't think I'm gonna grow it again. And I did never get around to eating it, but I did look into it because I was very curious. Okay. Tomatoes. This is gonna be really sad when it's over, because I will say the one heirloom tomato that seemed to not really have a hard time with the disease, that is quite prolific and delicious and will probably surprise nobody, is Math Wild Cherry. So if you like cherry tomatoes, I highly recommend growing that one. All right, those are the determinants I grew last year. Oh, do I want to grow ground cherries this year? I didn't really grow them last year. I thought that I would have a bunch of volunteers in the front bed, and either they got weeded out. But I do love ground cherries. I'll have to consider that. Those will stay in this thing. These are all like a classic San Marzano, Amish paste. I got some tomatillos in here. I'm not gonna worry about those. Blueberries. What's this? Black Versace. And this was a fruited one. Okay, so there's my stack of heirloom tomatoes. These are ground cherries. These are determinate varieties that I got that are disease resistant. Okay. Black Beauty, yellow Brandywine, black Crim, mushroom basket. I did 2 years ago when I discovered the disease, I did get the mushroom basket to give me a few, and I did really like them, and they're funky shape, but they're going in the pile of Paul Robeson. Love Paul Robeson if you need a good heirloom. It does okay with the disease, but like I said, this year I just don't want to fight it at all. Triple Crop, that's a good one. Classic. I've never grown this. Resist Cracking and Sun Scald. Looks like a new one that I got last year, so that might be disease resistant. So I'm gonna hold on to that and look that up. Same with that one. Abe Lincoln. God, this makes me so sad because I love so many of these varieties of tomato, Dr. Witchy. They just don't do well with the disease, and I just don't want to fight it. Okay, I think that one is as well. So we're gonna put all of the heirloom ones that we're hanging on to here. And then if you have been searching for seeds of any of those heirlooms that I just mentioned and can't find any, let me know. I will part with some of them. Okay, I'm gonna take this tag off because these aren't carry and paste. These are just disease resistant. So in here, mostly disease resistant ones I have are the ones I got last year, and those were paste tomatoes. So I need to find some disease resistant, what's the word I'm looking for? Large tomato. My goodness, my brain is just like, nope. Beefsteaks. I know beefsteak is its own variety, but yada, yada, yada. Okay. That is that. That's all the summer ones. I know I'm good on herbs because I stocked up on a lot of that. I'm going to grow a lot of basil, mint, lemon balm. I do need to go through actually my herbs and seeds from an herbalism perspective and look at what I have. I want to try and grow a bunch of chamomile again this year, things like that, holy basil. So I need to go through them from that perspective more than I need to go through them from a kitchen perspective, because I've got kind of my good classic kitchen herbs that are doing well. So, but I need to look at incorporating. I have seeds for a lot of things from an herbalism perspective that I've wanted to grow that I haven't. So if you're interested in that and what I'm growing herb and flower wise for medicinal purposes as well as culinary purposes, please let me know and I'd be happy to go through that. But for now, this is over 25 minutes unedited. Actually probably 30 minutes with the other takes I did in the beginning about what I'm doing today. So I don't know how long it will be once I edit it down, but I think we'll save that for another video if you guys are all interested. So if you have, like I said, eggplants that you love, bell peppers that you love, a good green bean, like just classic green bean, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about them. And hopefully we'll be back next month for seed starting and you'll see what I gathered to come by. But yeah, it's good to see you all. I hope winter is treating you well wherever that is in the world, and it's good to be back thinking about the garden and planning and going through this stuff. So thank you for joining me today. We'll see you soon.